It shows up like this, Tom, in some of the goods that are right behind me. Let me walk you through it. Fruits and vegetables. Most of Mexico's avocados are find a home in the United States. The majority of fruits and vegetables, about 47%, come from just Mexico and Canada alone when it comes to the American grocery list. On top of that, beer and tequila is a big one. So you're going to see companies like Diageo, for example, really impacted at the European Open as well. Car parts is a big piece of it. This is where the world's car makers like to assemble their cars in Mexico and in Canada as well. Remember, they have that proximity to Detroit, the northern part, and really the Rust Belt of the United States. You've got the likes of lumber out of Canada, even steel, which is due to benefit even in the short term, Tom. These are all things that are going to hit American pocketbooks.
Okay, and what about the impact on the U.S. economy? What are the assessments right now, Kriti, in terms of the economic impact on the U.S. of these tariffs?
Well, one of the immediate question marks here was that even though this could have an increased kind of effect in the short term, some folks calling for a recession within weeks for Canada and Mexico. For the United States, it's going to show up in the form of inflation. This is what I mean by pocketbooks really getting hit. They're talking about a $930 drop in household incomes as soon as next year, within the next 12 months alone, if these tariffs stand as is. Inflation potentially up to 3%, certainly above that 2% level that the Federal Reserve likes to look at. So when we're talking about pricing in an uptick in inflation, these are the kind of things we're watching. We're also talking about core inflation. Remember, energy prices and, of course, food prices are going to be part of that core bucket, higher by 0.7%, according to Bloomberg Economics. Even U.S. GDP by 2029, by the end of Donald Trump's second term, a hit of $55 billion. And that's just one-sided. Remember, on the campaign trail, Donald Trump made a key promise that these tariffs are going to help really offset some of the tax cuts for American citizens. You penalize the rest of the countries for benefit at home. Well, that's how those tax cuts cost as much as $5 trillion. Those are the estimates, at least, in terms of the next decade. So you can see how maybe the $1.5 trillion estimated by the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget could potentially offset those $5 trillion. And, Tom, this is just the opening salvo. We'll see if there's more tariffs down the pike.